Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. This is one of the first times you've ever seen our channel or seen one of our videos. We appreciate you finding us. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel or hit that thumbs up button if you like this kind of stuff, we'd appreciate it. We work on electric fence boxes of about any brand you can think of, old ones, new ones, discontinued ones, ones that haven't been made in 50 years. We work on all that stuff. But if you go to our website, fencerfixer.com, fencer is spelled like this, and fixer is F-I-X-E-R. But we've got links down in the description area where you can click on the website. But there's we got another website as well called cattlescalerepair.com. We work on cattle scales and low bars for people as well. We give free quotes, 18-month warranties, and everything that we work on repair-wise. And so you never owe us anything for looking at it. So if you send something here to us, it's always a free quote if we can fix it. For some reason, things too far gone or not repairable, you don't owe us anything for going through it and trying. So you only have your freight to contend with, getting it here to pay for, but we don't charge you a penny for looking at it unless you want it back unrepaired. Then typically it's just a freight charge only. So, but anyways, that's a little bit about us. We'll go ahead and talk about this unit right here. This is an old unit called a Hol-Dem Superpower 980. Hol-Dem was its own brand for a long time back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and everything. And eventually they were combined or bought out, or whatever you want to call, by the Zariba people. And then they kept the Hol-Dem name around until the mid 90s, and they kind of phased the name Hol-Dem out. A lot of the little companies like Blitzer, Bulldozer, International, Hol-Dem, I'm sure there's some other ones I can't think of. They were all kind of combined into this one company. They all got bought out, combined, and everything else. So now Hol-Dem's not even around anymore. They kind of phased that name out eventually over time. But these are good old units. This old solid state unit that they used to make. I'm not sure how old this is. Probably a 70s or 80s model, probably, I would say. But it's a good old unit. It's 25 miles of fence, which that's probably best case scenario, single clean wire fence, that sort of thing. Those humongous spark out of it. We'll go ahead and open it up and show you the inside. I did make a repair video of how to do this, but when I got about 10 minutes into it and ran out, and I kept going and didn't realize it. Looked at my camera deal at my phone, and I'd ran out of space and lost the other 20 minutes of footage I had of it, and I'd already done about 70% of the work, and I didn't want to go all the way back and show and tell it all over again. So I will tell you what we did to it, so that way you know. But this is the inside of this unit. Pretty basic. As your power comes in over here, you actually got two fuses on it, which that's two of the things that we replaced, were those two fuse mounts right there. The other ones, they couldn't get power coming into the board. I can get 120 volts at the back of the fuse, but coming out of the fuse, I couldn't get anything. So I was like, well, I'll just check the fuses real quick. I couldn't even get the caps off the fuse. They were one of those push and turn. They were like glued in there or something. I couldn't get them loose. I took a pair of pliers and started to try to maybe just bust it loose, but man, the whole thing started to turn. I'm like, I'm gonna break that fuse mount, and since they're not very expensive, I called the customer on it. He said, just go ahead and replace them. Just do it the way you need to do it. I said, okay. So we went in and replaced those two fuse mounts and soldered wires back on over here and everything. This thing had gotten hit by the power surge on the AC side, and it actually, I don't think it came from the fence and ground side, because this little component right here, this orange thing, this is a kind of a surge suppressor type of thing on the output between ground and fence, and that's still good. So I'm going to guess it came from the AC side because it damaged the board. And here's the original transformer to it. You can see how it just split it all in half. And the guy that had this, he tried to solder some stuff and said, oh, I'll solder that wire back on there, and it was too far gone. Plus, even if he did that, the board was fried too. So even if he was able to salvage this, the board was still bad. So we wired in. They don't make this transformer anymore. I'm sure there's somebody out there that could probably make one. I didn't have that. I'm not smart enough to know how to make a transformer correctly. So I have solid state transformers for an older brand as well. that worked just fine in these. I bolted it in. I put some rubber spacers between the those metal plates and the transformer, or the other transformer and the metal case, not to insulate it from with the rubber, but to cushion it so you have something to sit on, because there's about this much of a space between the case and the transformer, and I needed something in there to cushion it and to support it, so when I bolted the transformer in place, it would sit in place. So we got all that wired in, and then we repaired the board for the guy, replaced the two fuse mounts, and then we also repaired or replaced the light bulb right here. This light bulb was burnt out, and other than that, that's all it needed. I mean, Lightning just did a kind of a number on this thing. But we'll plug it in here and show you what it does. Find a good outlet that's not wore out. I'm going to flip it over to the front real quick. It's got two lights on it. It's a power light, tell you, hey, the power's on, and a fence light, it'll flash with every click. Now, if this light goes out when it's and the unit's still clicking and you're hooked up to the fence and ground, typically means you've got a bad short in the fence. So that's what this light's for. So if you got too much load on the fence, too much grass, or a bad short, this light will go out. It'll try to fight through it, but it's basically going to dog the unit down where it won't work right. So I turn it on here. There's your power light. And there's your fence light flashing right along. Now, these solid state units, I turned it off. Solid state units, you got to be a little careful with when testing. They put out a hell of a charge. I'm trying to find my voltmeter. My electric fence voltmeter, which is, we'll just use a Gallagher DVM3. This is a solid state unit. It's not low impedance like all the new ones are, but you can still use electric fence tester to test it. It's not a weed burner type, so you don't have to worry about that. So these, especially this model, this thing does a big enough spark out of it that it'll jump through stuff and bite you on accident. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over here. I'm going to go across fence and ground. My power cord came loose. I'm going to go across this and we'll show the voltage. It says 17,000 volts. It's probably a little far-fetched, probably like 12,000. But now watch the spark that this thing will throw. I'm going to go between ground and fence and ground. It wouldn't matter. Ground to fence, fence to ground doesn't matter. Same spark, but there's nothing hooked up to it. Zoom it in there so you can see it a little bit better. All right, this is the fence side. This is the ground side, so they're touch the ground or the fence. Can't see the thing. On the camera's not picking it up. There it goes. It was just for whatever reason, the glare from the light was throwing the camera lens off or whatever. So you can see that's a humongous spark out of these things. But the nice thing is, let me turn it off for a second, get this thing swung around here and zoomed out. Turn the light off. Well, like I was saying, if you get a bad short out there, let's dead short it. Still clicking, but see that fence light went out. You go out there, you find a problem, you fix the problem, whatever problems it might be, light should go back to flashing right away. So that's nice because it tells you at a glance what's going on with it. So, well, anyways, hopefully you like this video. This was what we do. We just work on fence chargers, no matter if they're 35, 45, 50 years old, 60 years old, or new. We're working about anything. All of them, in some shape or another, can usually be fixed, even the old ones. So as long as you know what you're doing, these things can be fixed. Well, anyway, that's about it for this little video. So if you know somebody that's got an old unit that's laying in the barn somewhere, or they got a new unit that's crapped out, wants to try to get it worked on, send it in to us. Let us take a peek at it for you. We be happy to take a look at it. We do free quotes and 18-month repair warranties on everything that we work on. So, but in the meantime, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this to your friends. Tell them about us. Be happy to help you out. In the meantime, see you later.